So here's an example of a little holiday ornament that you could design. Notice this one's really snug fit together. This one is a little loose, slides apart because this gap was just a hair too large here. So if it's a little too small like this one was, I took a piece of sandpaper in there and just sanded it a tiny bit until it was a nice snug fit so it doesn't fall apart. No glue needed on that one. This one is going to need a little bit of glue. I'm going to put a little ribbon or string through there and hang it up. These same principles that we're going to use on the tree that we're going to design here can be used on any shape. As we see here, there's several different shapes that we could make and do the same thing on, and all you need for these shapes, if they're looking the same, is to make two of them, and you should get them to fit together. This one, just letting you know, is from the star pattern here, and you have to play with a number of points. If you wanted that one, you get it down to 6, and you have to play with the inner radius to get it down to the right shape also. And then from the back side, you can kind of see what that looks like. All right. Here are the example ornaments that we've made in different sizes and shapes. Realize that any real shape is possible using this pattern, and we put the holes in different spots. All those holes were done with the laser also, so you can play around with where you want the hole to be so it will hang in a different way. Like this one's hanging at this kind of angle like so, or this one, that one doesn't have a hole in it. Anyway, play around with them. The design is up to you. Make something that you think people will want to buy, because hopefully we're going to sell these and make some money. Woo! And show off to your family. So we are looking at designing some holiday ornaments today. We are on TinkerCAD.com, and I have already logged in here. This is my account, and you are going to click right here and say Create New Design. But I have one going already. I'm going to open this one. So if I come in here to start with, let's click on the top view right here, so we're looking straight down at it. And then also we want to switch our perspective to orthographic. If I zoom in here right now, switch to orthographic, so it looks like this. Everything looks flat here. It's going to make our life a little easier here as we go. So with this ornament, we are making two separate pieces that are going to interlock and fit together. So this is my done product. I'm going to ungroup these for a second by pushing this ungroup button here and show you kind of backwards real fast. I have this hollow piece here that was a hole, and then this other piece that, if I ungroup this again, you can see that this was a bunch of separate triangles and rectangles that I put together. So let's start going through this. I'll take you through it step by step here. The first thing I did was started to create the triangles. And when you put down your triangle shape, if you click a roof, it looks like a square. But remember, we're designing in 3D, so we have to rotate this. And I want that to be at 90 degrees. Oop, I'm off by a little bit. I'll do that again. Let me undo that. We'll try that again. Going to 90 degrees. All right, now if we go back to the top view, I'm looking good now. Now I can resize this to whatever I want. Maybe this tree this time I want to be a little skinnier. And now instead of taking a new one out here, I can click on it and say duplicate. And now I have another one. Maybe I want my next tree to be up here, my next layer of the tree to be up here. Maybe I want this one to be a little skinnier. It's up to you a little bit. Maybe I want to copy and paste that again, or you can click duplicate again. Maybe I want this one to be a little skinnier still. Notice I'm not worrying about them being lined up yet. So now that I have all my three pieces, this align tool over here is really going to help me out. If I click here, they all align to the left edge, here to the right edge, here to the center. That's what I want in this case. And this does the same thing going in the vertical direction here. So that's my tree. You know, I can always play with it, moving it up and down a little bit, make it look good. It's up to you. And maybe I want the stump part now, so we can make our little stump here. That's looking pretty good. And I want my stump to be a little taller and wider this time than my last one, so I'm going to try that again. So that's looking pretty good there. And then I also want, I want a star on the top this time. I can really choose and put whatever I want on the top. Maybe I want a heart on the top this time. That looks pretty good. I like the looks of that. Maybe that's a little big. I'll make that a little smaller. And put that about where I want it. All right. Now I want to align this one more time. Line that up. All right. And now, you know, I'm liking the look of all that. So I'm going to say group this together. Now it makes one solid piece. And I look at it from the side. That's looking pretty good. I don't really care if it's different heights because we're doing this for the laser cutter. As long as it's touching that blue surface, we're going to be all right. All right. Now I'm going to copy that and paste it so I have 2 copies of it. And one of them, I want to have a hole in the top so I can hang it from something. So I'm going to click the whole cylinder, or I can do this with any shape by just selecting hole instead of solid. So there's a solid thing, here it's going to be a hole. All right, and now with this hole, I want to make sure it's going to go all the way through, so I'm going to make sure it's going all the way through my piece there. That's looking pretty good. All right, I like the look of that. I'm spinning. Ooh, getting a little crazy there. There we go. Going back to my top view. Now, I'm going to group that together. And I like the look of that. That looks pretty good to me. And I can also put a hole in that one. If I like, you know, actually that one might be a little too close to the edge. I'm going to move that down here. All right. Oops, I went the wrong way with that. Group. All right, so now I have my 2 pieces. Now comes the part where I put the notch in them. So I'm going to make one box here, and the width of this box going left to right is going to be the really important part here. We're working in millimeters right here, so I know from my example that I want this to be 4.1. I think will be a safe number. If the laser's off by a little bit, we can always sand it a little bit, but that's looking pretty good, I think. 4.1, and if it's going off the top, that's fine. And I'm going to make 2 of those. I'm copying and pasting that, or pushing duplicate again. And I'm going to line these up just to the bottom of each other right there. And then I'm going to line them up like so, so it's in the middle of my tree here. Making sure that my tree, that might cause us some problems. We'll worry about that in a little bit here. But making sure the seam is going to be in the middle. All right. Now I can just take that one and move it over here to the other one. You know what? I'm going to move the other one. I'm going to move this one over here. And that one, since these are at the same height, right? They're the same height here. That this is going to be the same height over here because I just moved it straight sideways using the arrow keys on my keyboard, so I didn't accidentally move it up or down. And then we'll align that to be perfectly centered again, aligning this to be perfectly centered also. But now I notice if I was to cut this and group these together, when this laser cuts out, oops, let's fix that. I'm going to go back. There's a lot of fixing mistakes in here. Don't worry about making it perfect the first time. It's all about problem solving. So I'm going to group this again, try this again. Working through my mistake there. I'm going to realize if this got laser cut, that's going to be extremely weak and probably break right here. So instead of making something that's going to break off, I'm going to say undo. And I'm going to say ungroup this. And now when I do this, I'm going to delete that heart. My heart's still going to be on one of the shapes, so it should still be all right. Now let's group these pieces back together. And now group this back together. Now do the same thing with this. Oops, same issue I had a moment ago. Got to make this box taller. Grabbing the white piece to pull it taller. Grabbing the black arrow to pull it down. All right. And we'll group. And let's see if we can look at that from the top again. All right. Now I have my two pieces. I'm going to export these separately. So grabbing that one, export for laser cutter. There it is. Grabbing my other one, export for laser cutter. And popping over here to Glowforge, all I have to do is drag it in. Here comes my first design, give it a moment. And here comes my second design, my second piece. I'm dragging that one in, give it a moment. Now I have my two pieces I can place on my piece of wood here. If you have a piece of wood in your machine, we'll have, this is the wood that we're going to use. This is the 3/16 wood. Should be preset in there now. Nice little added bonus there. We don't have to play with the numbers as much. Now I can go place that where I want. Remembering one last thing we need to do here is this needs to be 3/16 because that's how thick the piece of wood we're using is. And now we're ready to cut by pushing print here, but it's offline right now, so it's not going to cut. All right, enjoy. Bye-bye.